there's tons of value on the board this week and tons of chalk value, but do you actually need it? I'm going to tell you what I think and more coming right up on 3 in 3 podcast brought to you by DFS Army. What up, everybody? It's your boy, DFS Up North, aka Josh Thomas, here with another DFS Army 3 in 3 podcast where I give you my 3 favorite leverage plays at QB, running back, and wide receiver in 3 minutes or less. We got to get to it here, folks. Let's go. But before we get there, you know what? We win. That's all we do at DFS Army is we win. Big shout out to my boy, Vita5129. Crushed it on the showdown slate with the Washington and Philly game where Washington came, big upset, 32-21 win. Another big shout out to my goy 512 football man. Took down another big contest yesterday. How are these guys winning? Right? How does everybody win all the time? You see those helmets up top every single slate. FanDuel, Prize Picks, Drive Fantasy, DraftKings, it doesn't matter, right? How do we do it? Number one, it's the coaching. All right. Our VIP Discord, where it gives you access to real coaches. You get access to me. You get access to Bobby Wow. You get access to Keg, Geek, Josiah, everybody, right? Where you can talk to us one-on-one, whether it's in DM, in the chat room, whatever, and talk about slate strategy. Guys have been chopping it up all day today. Yesterday we had the Thanksgiving slate. Guys crushed. Love to see it. That's where my boy 512 football man won. But yeah, I think really the coaching is number one. Number two is we have the best optimizer in the business. All right. The domination station is the most customizable. Get the best projections in there, and you are able to build correlated lineups that are going to allow you to win. Finally, it's the cheat sheets. We break down every single slate, tiers, showdown, doesn't matter. We got you covered. Whatever you want to play, we've got it with full breakdowns in a cheat sheet that tells you, hey, this is who I'm playing at quarterback. And our coaches are putting those guys in there. And guess what? That's who they're playing. All right. We're not just writing up every single guy in the slate and saying, hey, good luck. Right. We give you everybody, and that's who we're playing. And if you want to become a VIP, use that code UpNorth. That gets you 10% off for life. And not only do we have cheat sheets, we have articles, podcasts, things like that too. So if you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel, this is free on, right? Please subscribe, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and you get a ton of free content too. So along with this 3 in 3 podcast, I have a 10 under 10 article where I'm going to give you 10 of my favorite plays under 10% ownership for the week, at least under 10% ownership when I write it up. Sometimes other people see the same value as me, and what do they end up doing? Those under 10% owned plays become chalk by Sunday afternoon. All right, we are going first to my boy Jimmy G. So here's the funny thing about Jimmy G. All right, I literally could not find pictures of him throwing a football, playing a game, because he's so damn handsome. All the pictures are headshots like this where he just looks better. I don't even like being on the same screen here. But I showed my wife earlier and she's like, oh, yeah, he's handsome. And he's got really good teeth. I mean, I got hockey player teeth. I don't got Jimmy G teeth, all right? But here's the thing about Jimmy. Not only is he incredibly good looking, he's also one of the most consistent QBs in the NFL. Over the last 6 weeks, he's averaged more FanDuel points than Lamar. He's the same average 18.5 FanDuel points a game. He's the same as Geno Smith, right? Geno Smith is going to be super chalky this week. Jimmy G is cheaper. All right, he's $800 cheaper than Geno on FanDuel, 400 on DraftKings. Not even half the ownership. He's going to be like a fourth of the ownership. 4 TDs passes last week. The thing is, the volume's not huge. He's averaging around 28, 29 times throwing a game. But I love Jimmy G here. He's cheap and consistent. And I don't need necessarily, especially with the way that this slate is setting up, I don't think you necessarily need to have your quarterback win you the slate. You need your quarterback to not lose you the slate. And sometimes that's the difference. And that's the mindset that you have to have. Sometimes is, okay, I want my quarterback to, Jimmy G on a high-end week is going to get him 25 points, right? And on a low-end week, he's going to get you 17, right? Somewhere in the middle, great. Okay, if a quarterback goes off for 45 points and you're playing Jimmy G, you're probably not going to win, right? But if no quarterback smashes this week, which looking at the slate is entirely possible. I think we got guys maybe a Burrow or a Tua who could go off. I think Mahomes potentially, but I think Jimmy's going to score similar to these guys in a great game environment. I love Jimmy here. I like to pair him with Ayuk. People are going to play him with Deebo Samuel. or CMC. I think people might try to get funky that way. Or they're just not going to play him, which I don't know. I never understand that. I know I'm going way too long here, but I never understand the idea that I'm going to play this pass catcher at super chalk and I'm not going to have any exposure to his quarterback. Well, there's some correlation there, obviously. So I love him with Ayuk. Gets you off the CMC and Debo chalk. Love my boy Jimmy G this week. And you know who else I love? Cam Akers, mostly because of this right here. That price tag is outrageous. Now, you guys might remember a couple weeks ago, Sean McVay was cutting Cam Akers. He wasn't even practicing. And now he's back to being the starter. They had so much confidence in him that they shipped Darrell Henderson off to Jacksonville. All right. And here's the deal. They're playing the Chiefs, best offense in the NFL, arguably. And Bryce Perkins is starting. Now, here's the thing about Bryce Perkins. People are going to be all over him because he ran for 30-some yards last week on like 5 attempts. Let's remember that one of those he scrambled for 23. That's fine. Bryce Perkins can run. He can run the ball. Absolutely. This is the Chiefs. They're going to want to slow down this game. And while I'm imagining we might see a few designed runs, Bryce Perkins has only dressed for an NFL game the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago and last week. Before that, he had spent a year and a half in the NFL and had never suited up for an NFL game. All right. Preseason, he's played. Okay. He's averaged 30 yards and 27 yards preseason rushing on the ground. So this idea that Perkins is going to come out and smash, like Perkins is unplayable on FanDuel. So if anybody's telling you to play him over there, do not. He is unplayable on FanDuel. On DraftKings, I could maybe be talked into it, but I'd rather play a guy like Jimmy G for 600 more. And if I need that cash grab, I need that value, I'm playing Cam Akers here. 14 carries last week. He's going against the Chiefs. They're going to need to run the ball to slow this game down. And he's 1% owned. Like, I don't think they're going to trust Perkins to throw the ball 30 times. That's great news for Cam Akers. I am shocked by these ownership projections. I think that climbs throughout the week, but I am all over Cam Akers here. Finally, another super cheap guy on DraftKings, a little bit more expensive. He's in there for me on FanDuel, but the ownership is way too low, is Demarcus Robinson. We've said for years when he was in Kansas City that Demarcus Robinson can play in the NFL. He's a legitimate wide receiver. There's just no room for him here. Went to Baltimore. There was no room. All of a sudden, we've had some injuries. Rashad Bateman goes out, and Demarcus Robinson ends up coming in and really being successful. Lamar's throwing him the ball a ton. He had more targets than Andrew last week. Lamar loves him. Okay, he's dealing with a bit of a hip injury, which I sometimes kind of love during the week. You know, guy like Demarcus Robinson goes out on Thursday, no practice. That could be completely in plan, right? Not that he's necessarily hurt. He's just a little dinged up. Comes back out, full practice on Friday. He's going to play. He's super cheap. That just missing practice on Thursday is going to keep his ownership down, right? We get him for 4,300 on DraftKings. That lets you do so much with your lineups. All right. So I'm a big D Rob guy this week. So Jimmy G, Cam Akers, Demarcus Robinson. Don't play them all together. I mean, you could, right? But I think we get a lot of leverage with these three. If you want access to, you know, or if you want to check out, you can click the link below for my 10 under 10. It is still free for some reason. I don't know why. It's been crushing every week, except for last week. It kind of sucked. But other than that, been crushing. And if you just want to get access to all of our tools, all of our coaching, I'm filming this on Friday night. You buy now, you get a week, you get through this week, you get access to our Monday or Thursday showdown content. Like, why not? What are you missing out on? Right? Use that code UpNorth that gets you 10% off for life. You get access to everything, cheat sheets, optimizer, coaching. Just try it for a week. All right? Try it for a week. If you could like and subscribe to this YouTube channel too, we'd be greatly appreciative. You can always find me at DFS Up North. I am Josh Thomas with DFS Army. Let's go. Let's have a great week 12, guys.